energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, like this 4-4 portal that we portal in through, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. You star seeds that you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than, you guessed it, the fifth dimension, 5D, in the place to be. I see you and you see me. What we doing up in here, in these spiritual streets, out here, and in here, and in here, and in here? Because it's all about integrating within. It's all about this portaling right now. So again, happy 4-4 portal. And I want to shout out to all my detoxers. Hey, detoxing, getting that green smoothie in. Natural detoxing, staying away from the meats, the sweets, the carbs, and allowing the body to take a break and process these frequencies. Because the frequencies are frequencying, if that's a word. They doing their thing. You see, the ancestors ain't playing. They in the wind. Ashe. So let's get into this. I got to download. Definitely got to download today. I would have been on earlier, but today was just really pouring into me and taking in the frequency, sitting in the sun, eating and appropriating the sun, the light codes, and allowing these light codes to flow through. A lot of us need to just get out and get into some sun. Even if you get a little pinch of sun, you see that sun outside, go grab it, go grab you some of that snack, them light code snack, right? Because it's hitting right now, especially if you are fasting or going through the detox. A lot of times, just sitting in the sun, it will help with the cravings, or because those cravings are showing up to show you your emotions are showing up. The energy, the stuck energy, and the energy in motion that needs to move, right? When you remove the food, then it starts showing up. The hunger starts talking, the emotions start talking through the need to feed, because every ego got a need to feed, and the ego starts acting up in the flesh when it don't get what it wants, right? So, but this 4-4 portal, let me speak a little bit about this 4-4 portal, before I give you the download. Give it some time for some of you to, get in, tap in, tune in. Let me call my soul tribers. I usually do that, tap, tap. Let me call out to those who are meant to be here in alignment, who are on their assignment to get this fresh download as it came. So before I do so, any housekeeping that I need to do, let's sweep the house a little bit. The calendars are in a roll. They're on a roll, ready to begin rolling out in due time, but they're on a roll. If you still need the old calendars just to get acclimated with how to use the 5D calendar, you can still do that as well. It's good to at least look through it and see what it is that you're working through. Um, Anything else that I offer, the workshop is going on. We're in the workshop right now. The detox, the detach. If you feel that is for you, email me. We got 2 more weeks as we're working through it. And then we have the next workshop coming up on the solar plexus, which is something we all need as we're checking in with our identity body and our mental body. Ashe. So that's just some um, things to put out there of what's happening. Right. So with that, let's talk about this portal now that we swept house and cleaned house. Is there anything else? Meet me at the 5D corner if you need any assistance. If you need one on one, I am offering one on one for those who are serious, as well as the calendar. Right? So, swept house. Now, let's talk about this portaling. The portal is, as I always say with the portals, for those who don't know about the portals, these dates like 4 4 3 3, 8 8 11 11, all of these are portals. And it's for us to understand that they are portals because of the collective consciousness. They are portals because of where we are in the collective consciousness. And since most of the collective consciousness is still using the Gregorian timeline, we can always find the truths. You can always find the truths in time, right? So you use their Gregorian calendar, and that's the collective consciousness. So wherever the numbers double up, or wherever there's a palindrome number, um, then there is a portal, or there may be a vortex. So that's one thing to understand about the portals. The next thing is to understand that there's no magical, like people think, oh, it's a portal and they just gonna get these magical gifts. It's about the pre-portaling work. So it is to understand, overstand, and understand what have you been doing, how have you been living, how have you been being in your being evolved, be evolved. How have you been being in your evolution through your timeline? Are you shifting timelines? Are you quantum leaping? Are you doing your shadow work at a very basic level? At 5D 101, at a very basic level, we are at least to be doing our shadow work. This is what is being called of us. It's the most important part, to do that shadow work in order to remove the resistance, to deal with the traumas, to face the traumas, childhood trauma, ancestral trauma, family trauma, trauma, all the trauma. In order to remove the resistance, this is a time for us to be in balancing, in right balance, in right harmony. Every moment taking the opportunity to harmonize, right? So what we do in this pre-portaling work is how we transit through the portal, how you access the portal, how you get access granted into the portal, through the portal, right? What is being revealed to you in the portal, like how I got these downloads, right? Today, just by being open to the presence and what is happening in the now through the portal, based on what you have already been doing. What have you acquired in your soul, right? And what do you require to unfold? Ashe? So with that said, that brings me to, the 4-4 portal. The 4-4 portal, the theme is this foundational balance, right? For those who know about numerology, and that way these numbers have a way of speaking to us, right? One is usually unification, two is the harmony of duality, three is a creative completion, which is also a major portal, like the 369. These are the three major portals throughout time, through the infinite number of nine, right? Four is foundational balance. Five is physical spiritual balance, which also means change. Six is receptive completion. Seven is manifestation, or the return to completion, right? Which, by the way, there are other there are other meanings with these numbers that all kind of coincide and mean the same, right? People just have different ways of phrasing it. Um, Eight is also infinite, right? It's creativity because it's infinite. It's infinite completion, and it's about repetition because infinite repeats itself over and over again. Ashe. And I'm looking at the 3-3 right now, power of three. And nine, of course, is spiritual completion. So these numbers represent certain themes or what we're doing. It highlights what's going on, numerologically speaking, right? So this theme is a foundation, foundational balance in time. That's what we're looking at as we transit through this portal. What is the foundational balance? And this is where I will now share with you the download, right? And it was a beautiful download. So stick with me if you can. Clear your ears, get your inner ears open, clear out your third eye, move anything out of your third eye, and just allow yourself to be open, right? Take a deep breath so we can cross the bridge, as the breath is the bridge of life between the physical and spiritual. So let's just take a deep breath so we can cross the physical into the spiritual, right? Let's go. See yourself leaving behind everything in the physical on the other side and stepping into the spiritual realms, the spiritual house. Ashe. And then I'm going to share with you this download. I may have to no, I don't think. Let's see if I could see this without the glasses. So, this is a foundational integration from the heavens to the earth, which is a celestial earth, from the ethers to the earth, however you choose to look at it. This is where we are being invited to integrate the foundational direction of the cosmos with the foundational elements of the earth. And if you can imagine that, the visual that comes with that is an upside down triangle or pyramid, really, from that's going from the heavens down to the earth, and the one that's going from the earth up is the foundational elements. That's the pyramid from the earth going up, if you can imagine that. Right? So visualize that if you can, whether in 2D or 3D. That's the foundational directions coming from the heavens and the foundational elements coming from the earth, right? The energies within the accelerated frequencies are and initiating the engagement of our Merkaba activation as our threefold triangular knowledge descends from our foundational base in the ethers or the heavens, which is the mind, to engage and integrate with our threefold triangular knowledge as it ascends from our foundational base in the earth. So just like I said, if you can imagine that pyramid reaching down from the base, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I say base, I'm talking about that foundational 4, right? So that base, those directions from the heavens, north, south, east, west, and from the floor on up, the elements within the earth, which are earth, wind, fire, water, right? And these, as they integrate with one another, we understand, for those of you who've seen that video, that the elements are the directions, right? It's just a matter of what angle that we're coming from. Triangles, the angles of light that are integrating. So kind of imagine that triangle reaching down and the other one coming up. And it sort of looks like the Merkaba, for those of you who know the Merkaba, which is also the symbol for the heart chakra. So imagine them coming in from the top, the base coming from the top and the base coming from the bottom. And imagine that coming in and meeting right there in the heart of it all, as the energy body, right? So this triangle, why I say knowledge, why it's being shown to me as knowledge, is because the triangle represents knowledge. Ashe? So this is what's being risen out of that square, out of that base, out of those 4 corners, the 4 foundations. What rises out of that is, you'll see the pyramid or that triangle of knowledge coming forth from the base, from the foundation, right? So this knowledge, as it ascends from the earth, in order to do what? To activate our light spirit body, the Merkaba vehicle, and ignite our risen light to its infinite potential. That's the divine IP. I want us to listen to that. Its infinite potential, right? So it's ignite us to our risen and infinite potential. That's your IP address. I don't know how many are getting that, but that hit as soon as I was getting the downloads. I was like, oh, that's the IP address. That's the divine IP address, is your infinite potential. Where are you supposed to be in the infinite existence of it all? Ashe? So this is what's being highlighted. I'm taking y'all with me, through the download. So this portal allows us to ground in the heavens and earth, to engage in all the light codes around and within us, while remembering the foundations that supports and gives the infinite knowledge we need within time. I want us to really think about that. Giving us the infinite knowledge we need within time. So it's allowing us, by the remembering, allowing us to see that 1, 2, 3, 4, the foundations that support and give us this infinite knowledge, the triangle, the risen pyramid, right? That gives us this knowledge and everything that we need within time, within the infinite existence of time. And I don't know how many of you are seeing that, but that is also the symbol of the root chakra, that has the circle, the square, and the triangle. So imagine that within that circle, that is our infinite existence, the circle of life, right? And within that circle, you have the four corners, which are either the 4 directions or the 4 elements that are risen. And when we rise that knowledge It is risen like the pyramid. This is what the pyramid exemplifies. You are the pyramid. We are the pyramids. And it's risen out of the four foundation. We're being asked to ground in this foundational knowledge from the heavens into the earth and from the earth into the heavens. Into, when I say heavens, let me clarify that too. When I say heavens, I'm talking about the celestials. I'm talking about the cosmos. I'm not talking about the big fluffy, clouds sitting in the sky. I'm talking about the celestials, you, the heavens of your own mind and your own soul and your own destiny. All right. So the foundational square supports and gives the risen triangle knowledge within the infinite circle of time, just as I exemplified. So that's what's happening. That foundational balance, or it gives, it supports, and it not only supports, but in the support, it also gives to that risen knowledge. It allows that knowledge to rise when we allow that support to give. Ashe. So this was a heavy download. As I was getting this today, I'm giving it to you fresh off the pot. As I was getting it, it was just, I had to pause every step of the way as I'm transcribing what's coming. It's like highlighting what is really happening. Are we really seeing what's happening within the four, within just even with geometry, with the square and the triangle and the circle? You're just seeing it on a whole different level, right? It is through the support. This is further more of this download. I'm sharing the whole download with y'all, with you all. I don't like to say y'all. With the star seeds, with the light bodies, I'm sharing it all. It is through the support of the square in the way that we are willing to give into the triangle that it is risen to the wisdom that moves us through infinite space and time within the circle of infinite life. So it's saying to us that it is this, let me say this further on before I break it down. It is this giving will, or the will to give, that is the very breath of life that gets put into the Sakem as animated action through energy in motion, or electromagnetic frequencies as the Sakem that becomes the Sahu when it is acknowledged, elevated, and exalted to the next level within the infinite existence. I don't think y'all hear me though. This is deep. Let me go back. Let me go back, because then I went into the Sa Sakem Sahu. Like, it was really highlighting the breath of life, which is the Sa. So let me just go back, because I want us to look at what we're willing to do. Ashe. It is through the support of the square in the way that we are willing to give, the way that we are willing to give into the triangle that is risen. So into the knowledge, what is the way that we are willing to give into the knowledge? And that is an important part, because a lot of people are missing that in the age of the knowing. We think it's just about acquiring knowledge, but what are you willing to give? Meaning, what are you willing to do and give towards this knowledge, so that this knowledge is risen? Risen to what? The wisdom that moves through us, that moves through us through infinite space and time within the circle of infinite life. So within that circle of life of it all, how is it going to move? It's almost like the breath of life is fueling us. Not almost, it is. That is what is fueling us. So the support, that square, we're being told to really ground in this foundational this foundational balance, the four corners, meaning the four elements and the four directions. The directions as it is very self-explanatory. I'm just, the words coming so fast. Coming from the ethers, we're always getting directions. We're always getting guidance from the cosmos. North, south, east, and west it's not literally north, south, east, and west how we think, although the way we understand it, it does guide us in our directions, but it's really talking about guidance. So the foundational directions is letting us know that through this whole north, south, east, west concept, it is to be understood as guidance. The cosmos guide us always in all directions, in any direction, throughout every direction. That is the foundational balance of understanding the base. Think of an upside down pyramid. The base of the cosmos, where we're coming from, the foundation is to understand the directions of time and how it is being streamlined into us and through us. And those are the frequencies that are coming in, the information in time, the light energy and information that's being guided through us and in us right now and forever, infinitely so. And so this is what's coming down. And then there is the coming from the base up. You have the elements within the earth, because on the manifested earth, everything comes out of these elements. Everything moves through this earth and comes through this earth through the elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. In every way that you can think of, all manifestation has to do with these elements. And when it is risen, it is returned back up into the ethers, the cosmos, the heavens. So it's to understand that all support from whatever base it's coming from, right? It is in the way that we're willing to do, to be, to operate, that fuels this risen light, that allows this light to rise. Ashe. So this is this is the foundational balance. This is what we're seeing in the 4-4 portal. Are you allowing yourself to see what we are getting directions from, and the elements that we're being guided by or with to be able to use to rise, to ascend, right? And then the next part of that, which is that it is this giving will, or the will to give, that is the very breath of life, the Sa. This is where the Sa, Sakem, Sahu comes in. That gets put into the animated action, which is the Sakem, through energy in motion. Energy in motion, the EM. I don't know if y'all seeing that, but I'm going to break it down. Or the electromagnetic frequencies as the Sakem. Sa, K, and M. That becomes the Sahu when it is acknowledged, elevated, and exalted to the next level within the infinite existence as awareness of the soul within the spirit. Acknowledged, elevated, and exalted to the next level within the infinite existence as awareness of the soul within the spirit, because the Sahu is spiritual awareness. The Sa is the breath of life. This is Kemetic knowledge right now. The Sa is the breath of life. The Sakem is the animated life, force, energy in motion. And that Sakem is how we are moving through these experiences, these frequencies. And when you hear the Sakem, the Sa being the breath of life, this is how it was broken down to me today. The Sa being the breath of life, the K being the K that stands for knowledge, and the M, EM, energy in motion, as well as electromagnetic frequencies, right? This is beyond. This is where I had to pause, y'all, and just really take a breath on what's really happening. We're being given this understanding of how this energy is flowing through us, how we play a part, an intricate part in this whole intricate design. 4-4. Are you integrating the 4-4 balance, the foundational balance from the ethers into the earth? Are you integrating that in the energetic body? This is all in the energetic body. We're meeting at the heart right now. This is where we are to open our heart, open the capacity of our heart, and allow the wind, the element of wind, to flow through the entire energetic body and bring what it is that we need. Right? So this is the Sa, Sakem, Sahu flowing through us. And just in doing this, I was able to see for the first time the M in Sakem. Because I see the Sa, but then there's the M, the EM, energy in motion, or electromagnetic frequencies. Not or, it's really and, it's both. Right? And this is the 4, which I'm seeing the 4 now. There's my 4. And it was actually you all that brought this to my attention, that the 4-4 portal, what was coming up in it leading up to this. Right? because then I saw 4-4 and was like, 4-4, what is that? Even when I got off the video, it was like, what is this 4-4? And of course, it played itself out into getting this download today and sharing this with you. So let me go a little bit deeper into this. Faithfully, I'm not losing y'all with this one, right? Because it's deep. You got to really go into your spirit, right? It is to know this, being that this is the awareness of the soul within the spirit. This is our risen self. The Sahu is a spiritual awareness. It is when you have come through the experience and now you are in, you've leveled up and you're in your higher awareness. And there is the 4-4 right now as I looked up. Happy 4-4. It is to note or know that the Sa, the K, and the M is the breath of life, right? That the Sa, S-A, I'm breaking it down now, that the Sakem is the breath of life as spirit, Sa, S-A. And it is to know through experience, K. The K is the knowing, the knowledge. It is to know through experience the energy in motion or emotion as feminine EM. This is a further breakdown of the EM in Sakem. So the energy in motion or emotion as feminine EM and the electromagnetic frequencies or information as the masculine EM that is to be risen. This is another part of it that we're not seeing. In the Sakem, there is an integration that is always happening with the masculine, feminine energies. The M is the feeling and the thinking. The feeling is the emotion. That's the feminine aspect of the EM. Energy in motion, emotion. And then there's the masculine energies of it, which is the electromagnetic frequencies, meaning that it's just the information. And even that can be further broken down. I'd have to do that another day because even the electromagnetic frequencies have a component of masculine, feminine energy within it. So it's just highlighting how the feminine energy is in everything because everything comes out of the feminine energy, not gender. I'm talking about receptive activity. There always has to be a receptive activity even within the masculine energy. It has to be receptivity. Right? Because out of receptivity comes creativity. So this Sakem embodies all of this that I just said. The Sa as the breath of life, to the K, which is to know within the experience that the energy in motion or the electromagnetic frequencies that is to be risen to its divine awareness, the Sahu. So the Sakem is all that I just incorporated. Is taking the breath of life to knowing through the experience, through the EM, the balance and the harmonizing of the electromagnetic frequencies as well as the energy in motion. That it is through doing that work, through harmonizing with the positive and negative charges. There's so many things you can call it. The conscious and subconscious mind. It is harmonizing the creative and receptive activities that are in the charges of these frequencies, of these energies. So it is to know it through these frequencies. The EM is or are those frequencies. So that Sakem, that word in itself is really breaking down how the breath of life is existing through the knowing of all of these energies and frequencies through the energy in motion, that EM. Right? So, and that is what brings you to your Sahu, right? The risen to its awareness of the Sahu. The Sahu now, the Sahu is the Sa, which is the breath of life that realizes the Who as in, I'm quoting like this, as in WHO, the Who, as the heavens unlimited, HU. Let me say that again. The Sa, which is the breath of life, realizes or recognizes or remembers, but it re-knows the Who, the heavens unlimited, which is who you really are, aka a God in the great order of divinity as an infinite existence within the realms of finite experience. Let me say that again. Do you know who you are as a God? When you get into the Sahu, you know who you are as a God in the great order of divinity, as an infinite existence within the realms of the finite experience that we're having. Do you remember who you are? All right? In the realms of the finite experience that exalts itself through space time in time space reality to expand the level of consciousness as it ever evolves and ascends into space time reality. Right? So it exalts itself through, let me say it this way, so to make it clear, it exalts itself through time space reality, which is what we are in. We are in the constructs of time space reality. If those of you who remember when I talked about that, there's a difference between time space reality and space time reality. Time space reality is time within space. It is the creative activity within the receptive activity. Space-time reality is when you go beyond, when you expand and you expand and you go beyond into space-time reality, where you are now into reality, into the receptive activity of it all, where time exists however it wants to exist. It's not within the constructs of a certain hold in time, right? Time is not held to a certain order of creativity within a certain construct, if that's the best way I can explain it. So it's an expansion of time space reality. Think of it like that. Simply put, space time reality is an expansion of time space reality. So we're ever evolving and ascending through time space reality into that infinity and beyond, which is into space time reality. So that Sahu is that higher self, so that next level of ourself. And it's not a one-time thing that you just happen to get there, right? This is interdimensionally, happening, traveling. This work, it's happening on many levels. We're constantly leveling up. So we should always be looking to have a Sa Sakem Sahu type of experience where we're taking the breath of life, the Sa, and we're working it through our Sakem or our Sakem Ras. Our energy centers are our Sakem Ras, but we're working it through the animated life that is moving, animation, action of life, and raising it to the Sahu, HU, Heavens Unlimited, right? And that Heavens Unlimited is just how it went through my definition of understanding the HU. That's how, as a download was coming, that's how it was able to explain itself to me, what this who is. But as we can see, letting you know who you are when that breath of life is risen to the Heavens Unlimited, Sahu. So this is the download. That's what I was getting out. That's it right there. And all it's saying, pretty much that wraps it up as saying it is time. It is time to know thyself, in all caps. Know thyself. And now I'm seeing the 8. That's the 8. The 4 and the 4 is the 8. Infinite. Right? Welcome 8. Welcome 8 through this gate into the 4-4 portal, and you're all portaling with me. And I thank all of you who were here in that video before where I saw the 4 and 4, and it was like foundational balance, foundational balance. Those of you who were there in that video and you know who you are, you were portaling right through. This message is definitely for you. Ashe. Let me see who this is. I am discernment either way. Ashe. Ashe, this is all balance and harmony. So I wanted to make sure I share this happy portal 4-4 portal information with you that's really inviting us to step into our balance. And I want to invite us to harmonize. This is about harmonizing with these frequencies right now. There's so much going on with these energies, from the solar eclipse into Neptune shifting from Pisces into Aries. Really a major cosmic shift. Big moves, big moves. We're not going to see that again in this lifetime. right? And with that happening, we had the conjunction with Venus and Neptune before it switched out. We had the conjunction with Mercury, excuse me, with Mercury and Neptune, and with Mercury and Neptune in Cat. My little new friend Cat here is getting frisky around here. Um, with Mercury and Neptune on the solar eclipse day. Okay, bring it back to me, Spirit. So there's a lot energetically happening. And what I want us to understand, I feel like this is important to share with a lot of us. Um, the frequencies are definitely shifting for a lot of us. And some may feel it, some may not feel it, but it's happening either way. And it's really breaking a lot of the illusions. So harmonizing, let me speak first about the harmonizing. It's important that we harmonize every step of the way. Take every moment that you can to find the harmony in what appears to be in opposition. Do not fall for the illusion of separation, but instead take a deep breath and lean into the harmony and ask yourself, how can I harmonize with this component? And as I'm going through this detox, it's not easy, I can say. It's bringing up a lot. We're seeing a lot of things that we're frustrated with, but with good cause. It's asking us to really look at what these are so that we can break the illusions, right? And think about it this way. I was speaking to someone and explaining to them, think about it this way. We have these illusions that we want to break. We have, let's say we're coming into 5D, we're quantum leaping, and we're asking, especially my spiritual light bodies, we're asking for a lot. We're asking for spiritual awareness. We're asking for that sahu. But that doesn't come without a release, a removal, and a letting go of all resistance in the soul in order for the soul to unfold. So when we ask for this and we are in the fifth dimension and we're shifting and we're moving, what's going to happen is the universe is going to give us all the opportunities, right? We see them as challenges, but it's going to give us the opportunities to face what we need to face in order to release it and let it go so that we can gain that spiritual awareness, so we can have that enlightenment that we're all ascending towards. Enlightenment does not come without destruction. There has to be a destruction of old thinking, old concepts, old paradigms, resistance within the soul that is blocking you from stepping into, blocking us from stepping into that next timeline. And you're not going to be able to shift into that timeline unless you release and remove what absolutely has to be removed. Not what you want to remove, but what must needs be removed, specifically tailored to your soul unfolding journey that your spirit has fashioned. Right? This is why they say made in the potter's hand. You are the potter. You, the spiritual infinite being that you are, is the very potter that charted out your entire soul unfolding journey and course. And now is the time to remember, to be a part of the remembering, to know thyself. So harmonizing is an important key, a key component. We have to be willing to harmonize all appearing oppositions, appearing, all false evidence appearing real, all fears must be debunked and debased in order to stand in the foundational balance of the true base, the true four corners with true support, that you can allow yourself to be willing to be giving to this knowledge. In your risen knowledge, you shall rise when you choose to remove all disguise and remove all lies. Right? It may show up as protection, but we are living in the lies as disguise. And so this is all being removed. These are the masks and everything that's being removed from us right now. If you're feeling disturbed, if you're feeling the turbulence, good. The question that I was telling them that you want to ask yourself is, what illusion, like this is how you change your perspective. I'm going to tell you right now how to do a real quick change of perspective. Thank you, Wind. as something is arising or coming up for you, instead of sinking into why is this happening to me, or just any type of negativity or victimhood, stop and ask yourself. Remember, first and foremost, that you are an infinite being, spiritual being, having this human and finite temporary experience for a purpose and a cause, for a higher purpose, for your divine plan that's divinely orchestrated by you. And then take a deep breath so you can see yourself crossing that bridge from the physical into the spiritual. And when you do so, imagine you leaving everything in the physical that you see with these two eyes behind, and crossing that bridge. And then ask yourself, what illusion is this breaking for me? Because that is what is happening. This is the season right now of breaking illusions and changing perspectives. So as it's coming up, ask yourself, what is this breaking for me? And I guarantee you, if you allow it, that changes the perspective. It flips it so that you can see what you are here to be and to become, and the becomings of all that is happening, of all that is being bestowed upon us. You allow that foundational direction from the heavens to come down and meet your foundational elements from the earth that is rising, and let it meet in your heart. This is the bridge between the physical and spiritual. Take a deep breath, circulate your heart, and allow it to guide you to where we're going and what we're going through. So this is definitely a way of how we can be harmonizing right now. So take those times as you're feeling the opposition. As the example that I was sharing is that whatever is happening right now, and I do see the opposition, it's to ask myself, what is the harmony in this? What is the balance in this? Where can I find, when, how can I find the balance and the harmony of what it is that I am experiencing? Pay attention to your sakem. What is your energy in motion? What is your feeling? And what is your electromagnetic frequencies? The information, your thinking, what's coming through. And then allow that to be your risen light. This is how we can best take advantage of this 4-4 portal. Foundational balance from the ethers into the earth. Right? And this EM. Ooh, I'm going to be talking more about this EM. It was so sweet to me. EM. Energy and motion. I saw EIM. Electromagnetic frequencies. EMF. And it's all working hand in hand. Allow this to be a harmony and a balance for you. Let nothing let you be pulled into the illusions of separation. You hear that emergency? It's emergency time. That's no accident. Woo! Pull over, pull over. It's an emergency. Some of you may be on the way into something where it's like, hold up, pull over, pull over. Don't let this carry you down that way. Emergency 911. Turn around, slow down. Some of us are really getting a message right now to slow down. Slow down in your thoughts. Slow down in your feelings. Take a deep breath and allow your feelings to bring you the revealing that will unfold the healing that is already there, if you so choose to allow it to be a part of you. Ashe? So that's the download. You got it fresh off the pot, right? And remindance of harmonizing. If you get a chance to, before you go to bed tonight, take some time and do a 4-4 portal meditation. Just put it in right in your search engine right here in YouTube, and some will pop up for you. I found 2 good ones myself, so go and do a deep search. One that I can suggest, I believe it's called Meditations Daily. That one may pop up for you. And there may be some light language ones as well for you. Light language, crystalline light bodies that are becoming more acclimated with these frequencies, right? Activating us on the light grid. So 4-4 foundational balance, get your harmonizing on, get in the heart, and let's meet up in 4D. Let's let 5D. I'm saying 4D, but 4D will get you there too. Because the fourth dimension is simply time, creation of time, or creation in time, time that expands itself. And a lot of us are time traveling. So a lot of us are moving through the 4D realms anyway to be in the fifth dimension. Ashe? Ashe. So with that said, I love you all. Bodies of light, detox and fast where you can. Right? That's a part of helping you to deal with the turbulence of these frequencies and these energies. And remember, anything that's happening, just simply ask, what illusion is this breaking for me? And thank the energies. Thank you, frequencies. Even if I'm uncomfortable right now, it's going to bring me to my peace of mind. Ashe. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light. Shay.